Raila Amolo Odinga must avoid President Ruto like a plague. This is because Ruto, William Samoei Ruto, is not Uhuru Kenyatta. The dynamics of 2017 are different from those of 2027. I am glad that President himself have made it publicly. There is not in for any political friendship with Raila Odinga, and he seems to be taking it. He's making it in public, and people are wondering whether that's what he means or he's just saying it. Welcome to the Bold Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I also want to still take this time to remind you to kindly subscribe to our channel. This is my response to a question that many of my viewers have been asking me, that Kevin, when the president was going to your home counties of Nyanza, you guys came out and defended him, putting the carpet and doing the warm welcome. But just 2 days later, you seems to have changed the tone. I am consistent with my position this way, that I supported, and my point for people who follow the Bold will know, my position was that Nyanza should not allow itself during that William Ruto visit to be an epicenter of violence. Should not be a launch pad of violence against William Ruto. That was my position. And that is why I think I remained consistent on the fact that just like other areas when the president visits, the discussion is normally centered on development, Nyanza also needed to seize that moment. However, Raila Odinga received votes from other parts of the country, and all those regions William Ruto have visited, be it Mombasa, Western. He received many votes in Kakamega. William Ruto has ever been to Kakamega. Be it Nairobi, Ukambani region, and even the Rift. And those areas also embraced the president. They took their share. And that was my position when I said that they needed to embrace the president. And so the question here is this. When it came out, the discussion has been about a handshake. This is it. I am a very strong crusader of the handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. This is because, and I don't support, and no, Raila Ruto, no. This is what people need to get the difference. For the handshake idea in 2017, ladies and gentlemen, it was never about the law. Guys, that was a political friendship that was coined. And I normally talk to some few people who are a bit privileged who tell me that Kevin, relationship between Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta was that of a father and a son relationship. It's bonding. Father and a son have an ancestor above them. Okay, what am I saying? It was not framed or it was not conceptualized by the law. Unlike what we are now seeing here, where William Ruto wants a handshake, but a form of a handshake that is organized in some opposition and government, and so we want to work with it. That is not going to serve the purpose, and that's different from that of Uhuru Kenyatta. Let me tell you, Ruto ni kigeugeu. ndio kweli. Hiyo ndio kweli. And it's different from the other one. Immediately after Nyanza, when they went to Bomet on Sunday, that they were in Nyanza on Monday, and on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. On Sunday, they were demonizing Raila. Today, this is Monday, the discussion is about. Now, look at the span of 2 days. It has been about Raila, Raila, Raila. Guys, since Uhuru Kenyatta held the handshake with Raila Odinga, there was no single day he came out against Tinga in public. And we all know that we were in this country. President Uhuru himself once came out and said that there were reservations. At one point, they were even throwing it away. But he decided to stand with it. The dynamics are different. He had his own reservations, but they never played out in public. Let me tell you 2 examples. Do you know that despite within even in that handshake arrangement, the friendship arrangement, I want to call it more of a friendship. Raila was insisting in some events that he won the election. And Uhuru Kenyatta also came out clean saying, guys, from my heart, I won that election clean, free, and fair. Those factors were there. They were in all in agreement with those factors. But you will not see a situation where someone will go out in public and start gaining political mileage based on this. Despite the fact that when Raila held handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, he became a bit of, the voice was suppressed. His voice was suppressed. And I can tell you this. His voice was suppressed, and there are many things that could happen, and the ODM party found itself more of a defensive position, defending, and they even lost touch with the people. And despite the fact that now, Raila did not have a reverse gear, he had made this move. The political base shifted. They were a little bit disgruntled with what had happened, but he could not make a U-turn because, again, that would be more of a character assassination. But Uhuru Kenyatta never took advantage of Mzee. Tuambieni ukweli. He never took advantage of Mzee. The other thing, to date, there was a discussion of who approached who. On whether Uhuru approached Raila and Raila. That discussion is normally said lightly and doesn't go anywhere. Can I tell you that not that there was that gentleman approach. Don't you know that people would have taken political mileage? Even at the campaign trail, what would have happened is Raila would have jumped from that handshake arrangement and said that Uhuru looked for him because government was ungovernable. The truth of the matter here is there was a bit of some capture at Parliament, and later on at the last days of Uhuru Kenyatta's reign, there were discussions of an impeachment that had tried at one point being staged against him by his own members of Parliament. But all these were here, but no one took political mileage. But President Ruto, just one visit in Nyanza, which Mbadi said they didn't have a problem because they want development. What was an innocent, warm welcome has actually been used and turned into political mileage. Raila, President Ruto is not Uhuru Kenyatta. And I want to tell you one thing. The interest of unity that held the handshake arrangement together between Uhuru and Raila was a shareable interest since they harbored historical conviction dating from their forefathers. And that is lacking. Here, we are talking about a dispensation of capitalists, people who they look for wealth creations and all that. I also don't want to be much skewed enough, and I want to acknowledge that it was not full of success in terms of governance and what were people's expectations. Of course, with our competitive politics of antagonism, when President Ruto, who was then deputy president, decided to come off from that, he took a position to poke a lot of holes on some of the things that did not go right. The truth here is also that there was a bit of that laxity on Uhuru Kenyatta's side, but I dare ask a question. That's what I normally say. If Uhuru was with Raila and they were in that handshake, and so you were out, you were against them. So the person that let Kenyans down are the people who were against Uhuru Kenyatta and never challenged him. Because that's the truth. That Uhuru and Raila were together. Now you walked out. There was that fallout and you believe you are not part of that government. Now while you were out there, you were also the majority members of parliament. But you never changed things by then. So when you blame Raila that Raila did not, I'm like, okay, was it a must that Raila had to be in opposition? That's it. So guys, let me tell you why I believe that Raila should not go into the other handshake with Ruto. But I support the friendship one with Uhuru Kenyatta. What Uhuru Kenyatta started is something that we may not see it now, but I believe I've been talking to young people who are into the fight, all the political activism and all of this, and people believe that it really changed a lot of things. We may not see the fruits now, but I believe that is something that will remain powerful in this country. To Raila Odinga, the people of Kenya want alternative. When you create the alternative voices, you will disrupt the UDA political script. That script needs to be disrupted. And it must take a powerhouse to disrupt it. We are into an environment where political ambitions have been wrapped well and legitimized and institutionalized with religions. You've seen churches, and we seem to be in a hierarchical. We came from a politics of I supported Uhuru 10 years, so support me 10 years. We also went to another one of maybe Ruto getting 5 for another 10, then someone starts saying we are supported, so we need another. You see that activism. Now, for that to be destroyed, you can't be with them. No. On the fact, the argument that when the opposition is there is when government is going to deliver on William Ruto's side, no, that's not it. Hiyo ni siasa. Sasa hiyo ni siasa, hiyo ndio tuambia ni ukweli. Hiyo sasa ni siasa tu ya Kenya kwanza, lakini hakuna kitu kama hiyo. If they want to deliver, they will deliver. It's not a must to get an opposition. Kwani government, we have different institutions in this country. We have companies. Are companies delivering because they have oppositions? Huh? Okay, let's ask. We have NGOs that are doing good. Government is also operating in the environment like that of NGO. We have NGOs. We have companies. Do companies have oppositions? Like, is Safaricom doing well because there is Airtel? Surely. Okay. So are NGOs, for example, okay, companies might be competitors. We have NGOs in child affairs, we have NGOs in malaria, we have NGOs in different sectors. So are these NGOs doing well because they have oppositions? That school of thought for me, it doesn't sink. It doesn't sink. If you want to do well, you do well. If you want to work for the people of Kenya, you work for the people of Kenya. But that was done. In fact, during Uhuru reign, it was done to have a collective complaint so that you suppress Raila's voice. Number 2, president will fall out with the people of Kenya, the public. I can foresee that. I foresee a big fallout between Ruto and the public. And someone was saying, I think that was Lee, that Ruto might work for 10 years, but he will leave most hated by the same people who voted for him. He said, it's because of economic activism and that we are not creating a balance between the larger goal, the longer goal of economic recovery and short-term gains. We are reducing pesa ya wazee by three quarter, by two-thirds. We are reducing it by two-thirds. So it's like we're going to give them 75%. Look at that. A third. Out of the 2,000 they used to receive, they are going to get a third of it. That's a recommendation. There are a lot of cutaways here and there. And within no time, the public will arise and start asking, oh, with that expectation, is this what we really see? The other thing, with the Rigathi Gachagua activism, even a handshake with William Ruto will not serve the unity agenda. It's not there. People are looking for how they can become the next presidents after William Ruto. That was different with Uhuru Kenyatta. And you realize when Ruto realized that it could not work for him, he decided to walk out. So let's walk out, because when you get there, you get into it, people of Kenya, someone will actually come out and stand in the other position, and people can have it. So I believe that in terms of Ruto and Raila, I know people are asking, Kevin, do you support that? No, I don't support. I'm a crusader of handshake, but the friendship. And it's only on environments where it can thrive. On this one, it can thrive.